There y'all are. I finally made it home. That was a doozy of a trip. I'm happy to be home, and honestly, it took me Friday. Friday we traveled all day again because we had to wait, and then Saturday and Sunday I had to recover. I had to just sit somewhere and just stare into the distance. But I'm home now, and guess what? The Essential Travel Set. I'm missing one of the brushes. I'm about to grab it. It's on sale for $75. $75. A deal. By the way, these fibers can still do cream to powder back and forth, but this is going to be a different fiber. This is what we consider our artistry fiber in the full size ones. But if you're looking for something to travel with that obviously performs beautifully, we're just so excited. $75 for the set. And then the bag too, which I have the bag already packed. I love my little bag that goes with it. Let me see. Let me go find it. There you go. I had to go unpack it. I already had it packed. But what I love about it is obviously all, and I did find my other little pointy brush here, a little detail. They all fit in here. And the two brushes that are in here are actually two shapes that are in the artistry collection, but they're sold out. I'll tell you that in just a second. And yes, we're doing Feral Monday, but I am excited for this. So those not only fit, of course, but if you want to put any of the full size, so that was a C41, C42, C40, and then of course, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of these. It holds so many. Okay, and then look, this was so important to me. We're not zipping up our little fibers in there. But then also, boom, look at that. And then you have a little cup. Adorable. All right, let's put makeup on. Oh, just really quickly. Remember how I was telling you the two that are sold out? This is what they were inspired from because these are the two that y'all really wanted. Now again, artistry fiber is different, but C43, very, very similar. And then our C32, which is this concealer brush. So if you missed out on these, which we are gonna be restocking them, but I still don't have the exact date. So if I don't have the exact date, but yes, these two are in that. All right, now, makeup time. So I wanna do something iridescent with some graphic vibes. So let's just lay down some clear base. And I'll actually use the travel set today. So I'm just gonna grab the concealer brush just to make sure we even that out, starting at the lash line, working our way up, just going back and forth. It's really important to kind of pay attention to this part with a clear base. I feel like a clear base, you can't see it. So by starting at the lash line and then just going back and forth all the way up, and make sure that you didn't miss any of it, because then we could have patchiness later. Look at this. Hoo-wee. I'm so excited. So let's do a wash of color. We're gonna use the eyeshadow brush from this. I made this one a little bit thinner than the E28. That way we could kind of get more pigment from it, or we can still tap with it. So let's just do a nice wash. Still tapping because I want to set that base. Swiping doesn't always set the way that we want it to. We could swipe eventually if we wanted to. I'm not going to, but it's really best to kind of tap first, like what I'm doing, to lay that down. Okay, fun. I think I'll put some bronzer in the socket, but we're not there yet. This color is so much fun. I already had the eye primer over here. This is such a good duochrome. Look at that already. That's good. Okay, Sheila. That's all you gotta do. I did get it kind of on the ferrule. This is the ferrule, by the way, so I'm kind of making sure that I get it off of there. I don't want it on my hands. It gets out of control around here. I got a new bronzer. It was sent to me, it was, but I want to try it today. And I want to do one side the YSL because this is my favorite bronzer and I want to compare it to this, but I'm going to just grab this really quickly and grab it right on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to warm up my socket a little bit. Ooh, it's pigmented. Okay, we're pushing it with the tip of the brush. Then I'm going to wipe my brush off on Sheila a little bit. Then I'm going to take the side and transition it a little bit more. you know, it's Feral Monday. I know you're thinking, hey, I know it's a duochrome, but what's going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. We're not nowhere near done. We're gonna take our little precision brush here. We're taking white base on the tip of the brush, and we're just gonna map out some lines. You're gonna see what we're doing in just a second. It doesn't have to be perfect. I like messing up because then I can teach you. Let's see, where else do we want one? Let's put one here. And then we'll do one here. I need to pick up more base, but we're not there yet. You can just kind of map it out. And the reason that we use white, this is something that is important, is because white is the easiest to correct and control. So if you ever were to do, let me finish my thought here. If you've ever seen an artist do creative makeup, here's a good example. Remember when the skeleton teeth was really popular for Halloween, and it still is in my book. I love it. I'll do it every year till I am a skeleton. Sorry to be morbid. But what I'm saying is it's so much easier to map out because it's easier to wipe it away if you need to. So that's one of the reasons we don't map with black. Also, if you map with black, when you start to add other colors, it can turn gray, it can get muddy. So mapping with white is always a good idea. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wipe off the same brush and I'll just kind of clean it up. Easy peasy. And it'll just fade right away. Now, I bet y'all already knew that there was gonna be some micellar water happening. We'll use that same brush. It is important to, anytime you wet a brush, sometimes it wants to go and expand. Perfectly normal. So what you're seeing me do is make sure it's nice and sharp. And then I'm just kind of going around here. And it might take some of the shadow off. It's not a big deal because we're about to add some shadow on top. Ooh, I just realized I don't have any water in here. Oh, she's on the brink. I'm just gonna keep tidying. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Even like this over here, that's fine. That's fine. But I did just wanna make sure it's a little bit more symmetrical. All right, so we're gonna do a neon to kind of start the highlight, and we can still use this same brush. And we're just going to pack it on there. So I'm kind of using the side of the tip of the brush. And the reason we did white obviously was for tracing, but white is also going to be a great base to really enhance the neon. And I'm just going to keep packing this on top of the white. This is so much fun. Okay, finishing out this little situation here. It's really satisfying to watch it. And you can see that white just really peeks through. And then you get that definition underneath. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is gonna be fun. So now I'm gonna take a little bit darker purple, but notice it's not too dark, but it's darker. And I think I'm gonna stick with this formula too. I love these. They're really fun for kind of creating fun looks. So that's just right on the tip of the brush. We're gonna outline over here. And if you didn't wanna do that, you could honestly grab really any brush. You could even take the bigger one here and just kind of soften that back before it dries, easy peasy. And I'm just gonna keep doing this to add definition, and then we'll add an even darker color in between them. It's really important just to pick up a very tiny amount right on the tip of the brush. And do remember, it's Feral Monday. I love makeup. I just want to be a coloring book. Is that not fun? And you're thinking no. But you know what? I don't want to hear it. Just tell me that it's pretty and it looks like cotton candy. All right, so I took this shade now. Ooh, is that not gorgeous? Also one of the Chrome Addictions. This is Off the Deep End. And I grabbed it on this brush. Just a tiny bit. And don't worry about being as precise because I go back over it with dark blue shadow to really kind of melt it in. You can actually get really nice precision with this brush. Even though it's a little bit bigger, I designed it to where it goes to a really tight point. That way it can be more universal. You could even do a wing with this, which I will in a minute. I'm still gonna do a wing out that way too. Oh, it's so pretty. But you know what? My little tummy's growling. I think it might almost be cereal time. And then now we're gonna hop over into the primary palette. This is that same brand Bake Up, and I'm just kind of packing the dark shade on top. Bring it towards the front, and then I grabbed a tiny bit of back into the neon palette, which I already tagged. Grab that shade on the side of the brush, soften the edges, and then I'm just kind of doing the same thing over here. Back into the primaries. And then I'm gonna let this kind of creep over this way a little bit more towards the center of my lid. Not all the way, but I'm kind of just being a little dramatic so you can get the idea. So what you're seeing here, I want to explain it a little bit more, is whenever you continue to just add a lot of depth and then fade it on each side. So you'll see that there's a kind of a transition on this side. Even though it's defined, there's still a transition in colors, and that just means a lighter to darker or darker to lighter. And that's what gives it this really cool illusion. Now this has been a lot of effort. I must take a very small cereal break. I'll be back. Just a second. I'm back. It was delicious. Listen, I don't need the judgment, but I just had a couple plain shredded wheat. I like it, okay? I like it. Now we're gonna grab black eyeshadow. Just grab any black eyeshadow. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a smudgy wing. So I have the milk eyeshadow base that I always use. Pick that up in the center, and then I just go over here on the side. And I've been doing this kind of back and forth with this base for so long. It is gonna leave kind of that, but it does not mess up the eyeshadow. I would never do that to you. Don't even worry about it. I have been, like I said, I've been doing it forever now to even some of my most favorite eyeshadow palettes, and it does leave kind of a little, I don't want to say film, but you can just see where it is, but it does not mess with the formula. I would never. And I'm mixing it. Gonna grab more. There we go. And we'll bring that one out a little bit further just so we have more angles. Why not? And then once I kind of get the mixture just where I want it, then I'm just picking up the eyeshadow, not any more base, because you can still see that base is nice and tacky there. And I'll just keep going on top. Smudge that out there on the line, on the water line. What am I saying? Lash line. I'll tell you what distracted me. By adding that black, it kind of changed the dimension here of the duochrome, and it was so pretty. But I'll just keep building this up until it gets very, very black. Now I'm just using it on one side, and I'm just gonna keep packing it on. Don't worry about that. Imagine that cleaned up. There you go. So I used to wear these Ardell 576s quite a bit about a year ago, and then I went on Amazon and got more because I forgot how much I like them. I also thought we could do bottom lashes today. Well, we gotta get all of our foundation, concealer, all that jazz on. But if you want some drama, but a very small lash band, and a small lash band means much easier to apply, then I think you would really like these. I love them. I think I just want to use concealer today, but again, I love this. I finally found a primer that is more like skincare. I feel like primers for so long, they were kind of just heavy and they would almost betray you later, but this one is what I look for, and that's more of a skincare vibe, because makeup likes really thin layers, and that's what this is. But I just love it so much, and I love my Pinnacle skincare brush. This one's from Anissa Beauty. It feels like a spa treatment, and this feels so cooling on my face. I love it. I love it. I finally have a primer I like. I'm gonna color correct my cheeks really quickly. They're a little red. So hot here right now. Well, I should say it's hot and humid. It is wildly hot and humid here right now. Like, I went outside for 2 seconds and it's an attack. The humidity attacks you. And then my cheeks just get so red, but that's the typology corrector. And then I'll wind up wearing less concealer if I do this. Nice. All right, just let that dry down 30 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of this, and by a little bit, it's gonna be a lot. And I'm using the shade Wheat. Yep. Oh, I'm excited. So Jouer concealer was the jam, okay? And it still is the jam. This is a super high coverage. Think of it as, okay, I'm gonna have to compare it to something just so you get an idea, but it's the better, less thick version. Think of it as Shape Tape, but more pigment, which is what we want, and a thinner consistency. It's so good. So we're gonna use the concealer brush from the Essential Travel Set. And I'm just gonna work this in. My door's open and my mom's watching something. I don't even know what she's watching. She's so cute. Look at how brightening that is. Ooh, I forget how much I love this concealer. So I'll do kind of some detail work with this brush. You'll see. It actually even reminds me, I actually did a brighter shade. You're gonna see the technique I'm doing in just a second. But I did it reminds me also of the Hourglass, but it feels thinner as well. So I'm not sure. I feel like Jouer is a brand that we have forgotten about. We, as even myself, I feel like they put a lot of thought into their formulas, even originally. I think they had kind of formulas that were ahead of their time. And somehow they got lost in the whirlwind. But I'm excited to start using this again. Now I want to compare the bronzer. Again, we're still not done here. We're doing things. I'm kind of showing you a really quick way to get a really easy glam. Okay, already this one's more pigmented. That's not a better thing. It's not a worse thing. That one's already, this is the Armani bronzer. It's huge, by the way, too. That's pretty. I feel like it's very similar. It applies very similar. I feel like it's the more pigmented version of the YSL. I'm gonna put the YSL on the other side. I like the way it looks on the skin though. It pairs nicely with how dewy my skin looks. Whatever this new formula of bronzer is, I love. All right, I switched my brush. I obviously have multiple of these. And now we're doing the YSL on this side. Like I said, the YSL is just a more buildable formula. I still think I like it more. I feel that it just goes on so smoothly. And I could definitely build it up to an even more intense bronze. But there's just something about, I do see a difference. And I think that I'm still liking the YSL one more. The way that it just lays on the skin is something that I haven't seen before. I've seen bronzers that bronze and kind of look like this. Again, it still looks so good, but I feel that this one is superior in the way that it lays down. Okay, these have a lot of mixed reviews and I really hate adding noise, but I really enjoy them. I think they're a fantastic formula. I know that everybody despises the packaging. I don't mind the packaging, and also they even tell you that you could send this back in empty and they will recycle it for you. They'll give you a shipping label. I really don't love anything else from the brand, but my opinion on that is I really enjoy this formula. Now I think I'm going to use this shade, and I want to use it really high on the cheekbone to kind of coincide with these colors here once it's blended out. I'm going to use a little bit of this shade, and I might grab the other pinky shade. This brush is going to be perfect with it. But that being said, is it something that we absolutely need to add to our collection? Probably not. You probably already have a cream blush, but is it a really good formula? I love it. I think it's fantastic. And this is the brush that we made the C43 from. And I'm kind of taking this a little bit underneath my eye. And the reason why is that concealer is just a hair too light. And I can darken it with the blush. And then I definitely want to use a powder that isn't a brightening powder to kind of take down that little bit of too bright underneath the eye. I love this formula. Also, this is a trust the process. Even the skin is a trust the process. I'm using this little pink shade now, but this is going to take powder to kind of bring everything back together. But I'm kind of highlighting with that lighter pink shade. Then I'm gonna add a little there, and a little bit there. So I'm using my Givenchy powder first. It's not quite as brightening as some of the other formulas, so we're gonna do that first. But wait, there's more. Then I want you to grab this brush, okay? This one's dense, but it's also got some fluff. It's right in between. We're gonna take our powder foundation, take it on the tip of the brush, and we're just gonna go back over everything and melt everything together. That was one tap, by the way. I'm gonna take that tap through here. That's bronzer. I wanna kind of melt that in. It's the lightest form of an underpaint, and it just kind of melts everything together. Now let's finish up our under eye. We're gonna go in with that really pretty dark blue again. We'll just do a dot, 3 little dots. That's kind of fun, but I'm out of control. I'm gonna blend this. That's so pretty. And now before that sets, remember the purple one that we used earlier? I'm gonna do kind of the same thing, but right underneath. Wipe this off just a little bit on Sheila. And there we go. Transition that. All right, let's put on the bottom lashes. I feel like we haven't done this in a long time. This is a very 2016 trend. I hate saying trend. That means that it might not be in right now. Whatever you're having fun with is in. Now, with the bottom lashes, I actually don't trim them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to stick them under here and just make sure that we're heading down the right path. And it looks like we are. All looks great. I'm going to grab it again. And you'll see that the way that they come in the package, that's the way that you're going to take them off and put them on. So if they're curved and facing the ceiling, that's the wrong way. So we want them to curve and face the floor. Okay, it's really crucial that we have lash applicators for this. It's just so much easier. These are also from House of Lashes, and then I'm using my Duo Line Knit Lash It because I love how quickly this one gets tacky, but it doesn't leave a lot of residue. It's the one I use for everything, unless it's obviously lashes that don't require glue. Nice. Okay, let it get a little tacky. 10 seconds. Now I'm actually not going to put mascara on, and the reason why is because I want this shape to be my lashes. These are going to go underneath. Okay, they go underneath your natural lash, and just like all lashes, let them get acquainted. Okay, we're placing them where the eyeball sticks out the furthest, which is always right in the center. Okay, now that they're acquainted, we can grab from the front and place it. Okay, I'm always going to wipe my little tweezers off on Sheila in between. Okay, now I'm going to use this end, and I'm just going to start to flip them upwards just a little bit. It coming undone is completely normal. We just go back and we keep placing it until it's fully acquainted. And they're really, really comfortable. So we have Wait, this is the one I want to use. You have to see it when you swatch it though. So it's a pink flip, but it's just so intense. Let me wipe my hand off. I got some micellar water on Sheila here. Let's swatch all of these really quickly on my hand. This is from the Be Bella as well. Oh, I still got this on there. I'm honestly kind of blown away. This is so pretty. These are so intense. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Here's another one from the palette. Oh my gosh, these are wild. That I don't even know what that looks like. Wow. So we already saw, I'm actually gonna put that one on. Is that the pink one? Yeah, I'm gonna put that one on. So let's just look at these two. One's blue and one's green. The ruckus, that is a ruckusing. That's the green one. And then here's the blue one. Wow. We need to use this more. I'm kind of excited. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this brush and we're gonna grab the pink shade, which I keep losing. Which one is, oh, here it is. It's called the Magician in the palette. Don't ask. It's because they're so intensely flippy that I keep losing them. I am the galaxy that I wanted to be today. I love how it disappears when the light isn't hitting it. It's not even leaving a blue cast. Nothing. It's gone and then there it is. Now, obviously, if I was doing an actual highlight, I wouldn't apply it so far underneath the eye. This one is just, remember, it's Feral Monday, but I have a lot of highlight placement videos. I have that, and we can talk more about that. I could even do that tomorrow. I actually have a video I want to film on highlighting, so I might do that. Oh my gosh, this eye is so much fun. All right, let's do something fun for our lips now. Here's what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna start with a very brown, let me adjust my phone, lip liner, but I'm only gonna apply it kind of on my Cupid's bow and really under here. Stay with me. Now we're gonna take MAC Mahogany and that's gonna go on top, just start to blend it. And what we did with the dark brown was we contoured. We underpainted even on our lips. And it's a really good way to use darker lip liners and kind of get used to wearing them and create definition. Ooh, they look juicy. Now, I had to finish the rest of this with that camera. Let's do this Queen Cosmetics gloss on top. That's the ticket. I thought we could do this too. Makeup is so much fun. Now I'm gonna add a ColourPop tassel to the inner corner. And I went with tassel because it's just a pure white. And that's what I wanted on my inner corner. And stray sparkles are something that's absolutely bound to happen. So what I'm gonna do is take a clean, dry spoolie and just lightly get them back under control. Scrape them away. Scrape sounds aggressive, but you barely feel this. If it's hurting you, you're doing it too hard and you don't have to do it that hard. All right, we're all finished. This is definitely Feral Monday. I love the disconnect here. I think that's really fun. Yep, this was just in my head and I wanted to share it with all of you. Thank you for hanging out with me here. I love you all so much. I'm not sure I'm gonna be posting tonight. The algorithm is being friendly, so I'm just gonna let my last couple posts just kind of sit. So I'll definitely post tomorrow, but I'm here all week. I'm here all week and I'm excited. I think tomorrow, I don't know what we're gonna do, but obviously on Tuesdays, I try to tame it a little bit because I know right now I've got floating neon graphic duochrome. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you with all of my heart. And I'll see you in the DMs.